So Netflix gets indicted by Texas. Isn't this funny? Let's recap a little bit as to what has transpired. Now, Netflix has been pushing the envelope for a while now with very interesting TV shows such as AJ and the Queen and Drag Kids and, you know, all this stuff that made people go, I don't know about that. But recently, they decided to promote a controversial French film called Cuties. And a lot of people, I guess, are waiting for the director's cut for it, huh? They're putting up this poster, which I'm not going to put on YouTube, but it shows a couple of children twerking and, you know, doing all of these sexualized dancing. Obviously, it causes an uproar on the internet. Obviously, it causes an outrage. And Netflix goes like, no, see, this is just the promotional material. Like, it's just like the people at the promotion, they decided to put this up. It's nothing to do with the movie. The movie is really good, you guys. It's a really good movie. And people go like, well, okay, I mean, it's a corporation. Who are we to contradict what a corporation is telling us? A corporation would never lie. Like, corporations are honest actors, especially in the West. Turns out the movie comes out and it's far worse than the promotional thing. Now, if you are a person that does such a movie, you can't just put it out there and say, yeah, you know what, I like seeing little kids twerking. No one would say that. So you have to frame it in a very interesting way to get the critics on your side. It's it's to fight exploitation of children. It's to raise awareness of this issue, and we want to get you angry so you can see that these things are happening in a Western society, and, you know, we're actually fighting against exploitation. It's like me taking a hammer and, you know, doing this video, you know, killing little puppies, and then say that the movie is to raise awareness against animal abuse. Like, how does that work? In what world does this make sense? It's like, yeah, we're going to sexually exploit children in order to show you how bad it is to sexually exploit children, and we're going to make money on top of it. Do you know what's even funny? Like, what's hilarious about it? Apparently the producer, read it in an article, had to audition around 600 little girls twerking. You know, there are YouTubers who went to prison for doing that. Like, there was this YouTuber, I forgot his name, but it was turned out that he was requesting sexual explicit dancing from their underage subscribers, and I think like it was just 10 of them that he was caught with, and he went to prison. Okay, but meanwhile, if you're a director and you're an artist, smell the farts a little bit, all of a sudden, no, it's fine, it's perfectly fine. And this is the hill where Netflix actually decided to die on. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, any normal company, any company with a lick of sense would have said, you know what, you're right. I mean, hey, we're a big company. Sometimes the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. I mean, we should up our vetting process. We should do better in the future. You know, we're just going to take this down because, like, yeah, you're right. I mean, after the people at the higher ups, they saw it, they were like, maybe it's not so good. And they could have took it down and decided to be done with it. But no, all of a sudden they're for free speech. Yes, Netflix who has taken down cultural insensitive shows, all of a sudden when it's about sexualizing kids, they're for free speech. I'm sorry, but free speech doesn't work this way, Netflix, alright? Like, free speech is not a dial, it's an on-off button. So, when you're telling me that, no, you're a moral arbiter, it's part of Netflix to moralize. Okay, well, if you're a moral arbiter, I mean, when you want to be in such a position of responsibility and in such a difficult position as a moral arbiter, well, it should come with privileges, but with also burdens, right? Normally, I am for free speech, and I don't care what the fuck a company wants to show. You know, like, don't like it, don't watch it, in my opinion. But, like, hey, they're the moral arbiter, they're setting morality. Well, I can't have my children growing up thinking that this is moral, Netflix. As such, get fucked. By the Texas judicial system, it seems, in this case, because they got indicted. They got indicted by Texas. Now, a lot of people don't understand. They're like, well, this is a French film. It's a French film, so why is it that the people from Texas are punishing Netflix? They're not the ones doing the movie. They're a platform. Well, I don't think they're a platform. They're a publisher, obviously, because they get to decide what gets put up and what isn't. But secondly, I mean, Guns with the Wind is too problematic for Netflix, right? Like Guns with the Wind, that's that. No, Gun with the Wind, that's horrible. No, that is indecent, immoral, damaging to the fabric of society. Can't have that up there. But Cuties, no, that is progressive, that is enlightening. Oh yeah, get fucked. So apparently, I need to explain this because some people don't understand it. Look, the movie is made in France. Now, the Texas judicial system has no authority over the people in France. I mean, maybe they want to live with. I mean, the legislation permits for such movies to exist. You know, maybe the French are a little bit more open-minded people, more tolerant, more diverse, more permissive. The people in Texas aren't. So the people in Texas, they notice what Netflix is doing by bringing that shit from France to the decent people living in Texas, and they're like, no, we're going to indict you. Netflix has lost, if I'm not mistaken, $7 billion over this shit. Like, this is... I hope someone gets fired over this. Like, you know, like some higher up, which probably doesn't even know about this controversy. Like, there is some guy with a big cigar is somewhere out there, you know, in a big office, who's like, all right, what you got for me, Stu? And they're like, what the... You know, like, when they find out that Netflix has lost $7 billion, he's probably going to have an aneurysm over this. And he's what... Like, it's probably going to cause a little bit of frustration in his little 1% heart. And he's going to want to see who is the guy responsible for. Who did this to him? Who did this? And he's going to look down the chain. And I guarantee to you, it's going to come to some PR or HR twat, you know, with some studies in his diploma. And they're going to get fired. You know, it's very rare that these people actually get fired or get held accountable for their actions. But I think in this situation, it's possible. I think for the first time in human history, some HR person might get fired for a bad decision they made. Because I would be shocked if I find out that no one is going to get fired over this. They're going to wait for the storm to pass, you know, for all of this nonsense to get away. And at the end of it, they're going to be like, all right, who did this to us? Who did this to us? Because, you know, like, again, this is not the first time Netflix does something like this. I mean, they're constantly pushing the envelope with this whole sexualizing of children nonsense. They're doing it constantly. It's like an agenda. The agenda at Netflix. It's really that. You know, like back in the day when you had those religious fundamentalists, those religious nut houses that, you know, they would go on Fox News and they'd be like, it's the gay agenda. You would show them some movies from Netflix and they'd be like, well, that's what I'm talking about. Because literally, it's almost like they're going back in time watching Fox News from 2002 and seeing what those people were complaining about and bringing it today. It's really what they're doing. It's baffling, you know? It's like, dude, just calm down a little bit. Like, do some selection with your movies if you want to be the moral arbiter of society. I can't educate my kids, but I can only hope that Netflix can. People at Netflix. It's surreal. And you just, like, how can you mismanage a company to this extent? How is it possible that you thought that this is a good idea? And again, like, they knew the backlash was there. Like, they saw the people were getting upset, but like, no, if we apologize and if we bow our head to the peasants, it might show that we're not infallible. It might show that even we can be wrong. We can't have that happen. No, go through with the movie. It's, oh, and by the way, like, my favorite defense is like, oh yeah, but it got like the Sunrise Award or whatever it's called. You know, it's got an award. It's got an award. And it turns out that one of the people on the boards giving the award was a child connoisseur. You know, you can't make this up. You really can't make this up. Like, I'm sorry, but when you use that argument to defend yourself with, it makes you look worse. Like, that is an argument that the prosecution is going to use, not the defense. What is up with American companies? Like, seriously, like, just one decision after another. Every single time a company decides to go political, because I'm pretty sure that this like, everything is political, right? But I'm pretty sure that this had some political things to do with it, because I saw articles from prestigious journalists. It's like, oh, the right wing is upset. Oh, the right wing is, oh, well, if the right wing is upset, let's stick it to them. Well, now they're sticking it to you with an indictment, aren't they? Like, as if the right wing is not customers. As if there's like two types of customers. There's right wing customers and there's progressive customers. And they have two types of dollars. The progressive dollar is more valuable than the conservative dollar. Who thinks like this? Who thinks like this? It's such a bewildering way of thinking. But again, you read the press and you see these articles. It's like the right wing is upset over the movie with cooties. And I guess, you know, like, the expression a broken clock is right twice a day didn't ring true to you if you think the right wing is always wrong. I mean, I get it, we're all tribalistic and stuff, but like, this is about making money. It's about business. Hire me, Netflix. Hire me and I guarantee to you, you are not going to get into any of these problems in the future. If there will be a Netflix in the future, $7 billion. How much money does this company have, huh? And I'm curious, like, after this little trial in Texas, the Texas trial of Netflix, are they going to have to waste more money? Because, like, again, you know, lawyers, blah, 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 judges, the fine, oh my god, the fine. That's going to be interesting. I'm really curious, muy curiose, in order to see. Well, you know, that's fine. We still have Amazon, we still have Hulu, we still have, like, how many streaming services are there now? Huh? When is Pirate Bay going to open a streaming service? I'll pay for it. I don't like pirating, but I'm just saying, they could. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.